Hello everyone and welcome back to my Barney tutorial. This is part 3. So far we've made the head as well as the body. I've stuffed my body now. This video we're going to be making some parts and then putting them back together. I got some toes happening and the arm and then some of the facial features. Hopefully we'll get the head attached, the arms attached, as well as the eyes and the mouth put on. Sorry these videos are taking a while. It has been a crazy busy summer with the kids and work and everything, and just trying to get these done fast, so please continue with your patience. I'm hoping to get this finished here right away for you guys, and so we can start on the next one. I'm hoping things slow down when school starts and I can put out more projects for you guys. So let's start with the eye. So I've already made one, so what I'll do is I'll make one with you and then you'll have to go back and make another one. So again, start with your magic ring with 3 loops on your hook, and then we'll do 6 stitches around that. So 1, go back in all 3 loops, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, and where'd my stitch marker go? There it is. Put your stitch marker on for that round. Now go in the first loops here, and because we're doing a color change over to the white, we're gonna do a slip stitch. So pull the white through all the bands that are on your hook and then do a slip stitch. And now for this round we're going to do an increase in each. So that was 1. So there's the increase, 2 stitches in each of these loops all the way around. Okay, so by the end of that round, if you count your stitches, you should have 12 of them there. Okay, so just take your stitch marker off of that. Sorry for the interruption here. Just finish this off, and then pull your slip stitch through and tie it off. So go back and make another one of these and meet me back at this point when you're done that. Okay, now that you have your 2 eyes done, let's work on the mouth. So we're going to put 3 loops on our hook again, and we're going to do 4 stitches around it. 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to take my hook out while holding on to it, put it back in backwards, and then I'm going to go in through this first stitch here and do an increase. Next stitch is an increase. And this last stitch here on this side is an increase as well. Okay. Now I'm going to take my hook out again. You should have a little tiny half circle like this now. I'm going to take it, hold it, put my hook back in backwards again, and then I'm going to do a single stitch followed by an increase. And again, single stitch followed by an increase. And a single stitch here. At the end, take your hook out again, put it in. This time I'm going to do an increase here. Followed by a single stitch. An increase again. Single stitch, increase, single stitch, and here there's one last stitch here that's really small, and we're going to do an increase in that. Okay. Take your hook out, turn it around, go in here, single stitch, single stitch, and then an increase. Again, single stitch, single stitch, and then an increase. Single stitch, single stitch, and an increase. And then the last two here are singles. This one's always really small. That last one seems to be small here. Okay. Alright, take your hook out. Switch it around. I'm going to do an increase here. And then 2 single stitches. And an increase again. Two single stitches. If you find that I'm working too fast for you to keep up, please use the pause button to do the stitches. That way you don't lose track of where you are. Increase and 2 single stitches. increase. Two single stitches. Increase. And the last one is going to be a single stitch down there. Okay, now what I'm going to do is just go in through one of the stitches here on the end and tie off a slip stitch. Pair that on, it should come down to the end of the nose there. Alright, so that's the mouth. Now we're going to make the tongue. And for that you can grab your pink bands. I'm using fuchsia. So we're going to do the magic ring with 3 stitches again. And we're going to put 4 stitches around. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, just like we did with the mouth, I'm going to take my hook out, turn it around, go in through here and do an increase in all the stitches. So 1, go back in, oops, find stitch 2, do an increase in that one. And this last stitch over here, and an increase. Okay, pull your hook out, turn it around. I'm going to do a single stitch, followed by an increase. Again, single stitch, and an increase, and a single stitch, and this last one here is going to be an increase. Maybe I'll just do a single stitch in there. It's at the end. So take your hook out, turn it around. We're going to do an increase here. And 2 single stitches. And an increase. And 2 single stitches. And an increase. And this little guy here is a single stitch. We want the tongue to be just slightly smaller than what the mouth was. So So I keep measuring. So switch your hook around again, and we'll do a single stitch followed by an increase. And again, single stitch and an increase. Single stitch and an increase. Single stitch and an increase. Single stitch, and for this last one, just give me a second, we'll put one in the last one. And yeah, so we'll just do the one in there. So just go in, down a little bit. And we'll tie off a slip stitch. That should be just a little bit smaller than the outside of your mouth. So now what I'm going to do is the magic rings where we started them both. I'm going to line them up. I'm using a purple band. I'm going to go through those magic rings. And I'm going to slip stitch this together. Keep that bottom lined up. Go through on this side at one point. Put a slip stitch through. And same over here. Find a point, go through it. And slip stitch that on. Alrighty, so that is the mouth. Once we get it sewn on here, it'll look pretty darn good. So like that. That's what yours should look like too. Try it on. So we're going to start sewing some of this together. So make sure you have your body stuffed. Again, be careful with the stuffing, don't make it too firm. And just line the head up on the body to where you want it. And then what I always do is I just pick a couple spots where I'll go through on both and just put a slip stitch through there, just so that I can see placement before I actually get stitching the whole thing on. So again, go through. And try only to grab the bands and not the stuffing that's in there. So once you get those two on the ends and you kind of have the placement right so it doesn't look crooked or anything, you can continue on. Oops. Oh, this doesn't want to work. Okay. And we'll do one on this side. this side. Okay, once you get it looking where you want it to look, you can finish sewing it on. So I always start at the back here. I'm going to put in a couple more of these slip stitches around first. You don't want any holes in between, too, so they look good. So once you're happy with them, find the original slip stitch on the body that you did to tie off. That's going to be my starting point. So from there, I'm going to go in where the next stitch is that I have here, just underneath it. So I'll hold it up, go underneath it, go to where that slip stitch is, grab the band, pull it through over here. Then take this one and pull it through that. And then again, I take my hook out and I just keep working along like this, because then it keeps the bands underneath and inside for the stitches instead of having a stitch seam outside. On that one. Okay, so I'm back at the beginning here. I'm going to go through the head, through the body, grab this bend. Oh, I gotta do this. Okay, I'm gonna go through here, bring that stitch over, hold on to it, go through the head, through the body, put that on. Then I'm going to do a slip stitch. And I'm going to attach a C-clip to it and tuck it up inside the body. And it helps keep it in there. So there your head is attached. Okay. So now let's attach the eyes. What you want to do is lay it in front of you. Place the eyes where you think they look good, make sure they're even. And then using white bands, I'm just gonna tack it on a little bit. In a couple places just so we can lift them up and see. Make sure when you're doing this that you're going in through bands on the head that are relatively close under where you're working. Otherwise they kind of get all stretched out. So once you have them on, if you're happy with where they're placed, put in a couple more slip stitches around them. Try not to stretch these bands out too much. Oops. Okay, I'm just gonna go in one, and then I'm keeping these ones fairly close. So you go in the eye, so I'm gonna stitch them around like we stitch everything else on the outside here. Just to give them a slightly larger looking eye. not liking that. That band looks like it's... Sorry, I just have one band that looks like it's too loose. It makes it look odd. Which one are you? Here, this one holding it on. Alright, I'm going to go beside that one. That's my tied off band, so I'm not going to remove it, but I'll go beside it and then I'll just tuck that one down in when we're finished. Over it. Grab you. Here. Goes in here. Okay, that brings it back to the beginning, so I'm just going to tuck in under these two bands that are sitting there. And I'm going to tie a slip stitch like so. Put a C-clip on it. And then I'm going to tuck it down in here so where it doesn't look odd. Through here. I'm just tucking it in behind the eye here so that it stays neat there. And this guy, I'll put a C-clip on him. He was too stretchy to put it on, so it wasn't looking that neat. And I'm just going to poke you through here. Okay, so there's one of his eyes. So I bet you this one's too stretchy as well. Before I stitch him down, I'll stick it in behind here. And just work your way around the second eye. And back here, so we'll just do a finishing slip stitch here. Like so. And again, we'll tuck this down in behind the eye here. There. So there's his two eyes. So now we will attach the mouth here. So make sure these tying bands that you have holding the tongue on are pointing down to the outside, because we're going to use those to stitch everything on. So get your placement down, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this right here onto the side of the nose there and tie a slip stitch to hold it in place. And again also on this side. Going through this band here. This band. I do my projects this way slowly because I'm not always good at making them even. And this way I can do little adjustments as needed. Okay, once you're happy with the placement, I'm going to start with this stitch. How am I going to do this? Start on this side. I'm not going to grab that red band, or oh, I got to do something with it. So I'm going to go in underneath here where those are, come up where my first stitch is on the side here, pull it through, keeping it on my hook. I'm going to take both the red and this purple and pull them through. Oh, I didn't grab the red one. Come off there. Okay, try that again. Grab both of them and pull them through. There we go. And again, go through underneath the next stitch. Don't grab the fuzz. Grab both the red and the purple. Bring them through, pull that one through. Go to the next one. Grabbed a fuzz on that one. Pull through. Go to the next one. Pull through. And then again for this last one. Pull through. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go back in through here. Let's bring the band over first. Just going to go in like this, between them, tie off a slip stitch. Through all of that. Put a C-clip on and tuck it into the body. Behind it there so you don't see, like so. Alright, now with that we're going to make his teeth outline. So you'll need your white bands again. Alright, so again there's no real, it's however you want it to look. So I always start off at the side, at the corner of the mouth here. Don't pull the bands too much to stretch them out. And I'm just going to go into each of these stitches and stitch my way along the outside of the mouth. Go into the corner here. Now we're going to actually go up and along the top here, kind of try and keep it in line here. This is the best way I've found to do his teeth. He's got quite a toothy grin, but it's hard when you're putting it in rubber bands to try and get that same look I've noticed. Okay, here you're going to do a slip stitch, so pull it through them all, like so. And then I'm just going to attach a C-clip and tuck it in right behind here. Alright. Alright, so there you have his face. I'm going to stop the tutorial here at this point so it doesn't get too long. I hope you're enjoying the project so far. And again, sorry for it taking so long. It's just been insane crazy. We've had funerals and weddings and you name it going on. People showing up unexpectedly to visit. So it's just taking me a little bit longer on this one. So please, again, be patient. I'm hoping to have the next video, maybe even have him finished by the end of this week. So, yeah, hope you're enjoying them so far. And we'll see you over in the next video.